Perfect. Perfect.
Yeah, Varun.
Thank you. Thank you, Manish. Thanks everyone for joining. I am Varun Gupta, founder and CEO of ATMAX Technologies. And let me do one thing. Let me just share my screen. Manish, you'll have to enable.
Yes. So, well, let me search. Yeah, I've given access.
Thank you. Thank you. Just a second. Just let me know if the screen is visible.
Yeah, we can see it.
Perfect. Okay. So when we talk about ATMAX, it's an, you can say, no code platform which enables any mid to large enterprise to maximize their sales performance, which means if their salespeople are doing 100, how can we enable them to do 120? We have seen the decade of 2000, 2010 was an ERP decade when every company would want to have an ERP to let's say automate the internal functions of finance and supply chain. After that came the decade of 2011 to 2020 when it became a CRM decade. Companies like Salesforce, HubSpot, Freshworks, Zoho became really, really big because once getting ERP, which is the base data of the organization, in one place, organizations would want to have customer data at one place, and that's how CRM became really big. Now what has happened is organizations which is mid to large organizations have the internal data in ERP which is at one place. Now CRM, which is customer data, at one place. Now they're looking at how they can enable their salespeople by utilizing this data, and this is basically sales performance management stack, which is there in the market. It's a niche stack which runs over multiple systems, which is your CRM, ERPs, HRMS, distributor management system, and that's how it takes the data and makes sure that the salesperson is getting empowered, the organization is getting empowered to actually do much more with the current resources. This is net what is happening in the market and what we are trying to do. From a problem statement perspective, we have to look at it. Nearly 2/3 of the salespeople actually do not achieve their set targets, which means 40% of the sales leader or organizations do not even achieve the targets they would have set for themselves. One big reason is that the salespeople do not have the right data to perform optimally. Imagine what is happening right now. Let's take an example of an NBFC. A salesperson in an NBFC, so you would have got calls of, sir, please take personal loan. Right, so a lot of such companies are there which sell personal loans. Imagine NBFCs which are doing microfinance or housing finance. They call and sell loans to MSMEs or individuals, right? So imagine a salesperson who is working in such an NBFC. Now he or she will sell multiple loan types, which may be in housing finance. It can be loan against property, or let's say loan against additional loans, which is top up loan if you have to build anything additional. Multiple such product types are there, and this particular individual is earning around 10,000 rupees on an average in a month as an incentive, whereas this his or her salary is around 15,000 as a fixed salary. But imagine the kind of incentives they make. So if they do really, really well, they can even make 15 to 20,000. If they do on an average, they make 5,000 to 10,000. Now what happens is the data which is related to their performance and incentives is not in front of them. It comes to them after 30-45 days. So imagine the month of September, the incentives for the month of September will get paid at the end of October or even in November. Individual, this salesperson will come to know, okay, पांच loan file close करने पे this person is getting 8,000 rupees after 1 month. There is a total black box during this particular September month, and even after that the money and the performance data is coming after 30 days. Now this person cannot go back in the past and do more to earn more money. And for salespeople, incentive happens to be the biggest binding thread between a salesperson and an employer, and it's a big lever actually to drive a salesperson. This is a big problem across 99.5% of the companies in APAC who are running the entire performance and incentives on Excel sheets. And this is the problem we are trying to solve. And because of this problem, what is happening is the sales organization, which is the salesperson, the managers, sales leaders, they are not working optimally. Because with salesperson, the data is coming after 30 days. You are not able to motivate that particular individual. Hey, if you do this, you get this much amount of money on a real time basis. You are not able to do that. To the managers, they get the data after 30-45 days. They do not have a real time view of what their team members are doing, comparison of team members, various KPIs, and hence they are not able to take right decisions at the right time. Similarly, the leaders, they get the data after a quarter. They are not able to change the performance policies, incentive policies immediately to drive the right behavior at that particular point of time, and hence they are also not able to perform optimally. That is a data problem, on demand data problem related to performance and incentives, which we are solving. And this problem is not just for NBFC, for that matter. This problem is actually for any industry which has a lot of focus on salespeople. We of course are focusing big time on financial services. And this problem, which is sales organization problem, is actually a organization problem, sales problem, because the revenue is not that much, the KPIs are not that much. That results in businesses suffering. So that particular growth will not be there, the profits which are required will not be there. You will as a business, you will lose top performers, because there is no transparency of how much a person is doing, and hence the person can move to other competitor within just for 2 to 3,000 kind of a hike, imagine. And hence there is a requirement of how, as businesses, as organizations, as leaders, we can optimize sales performance by using the power of data. And that is what ATMAX does. So ATMAX is a no code data driven tech which helps in streamlining the entire performance and incentive for sales or customer facing teams. Run the entire process, which right now is taking 30 days to 45 days. The entire process happens in 30 to 45 minutes. Right now it's a black box for each and every individual. We give on demand data which empowers each and every individual. We give, imagine the nudges. Right now it's a black box. The nudges can go on 25th of the month saying that, hey, in this KPI you have done only 50%. Even to receive incentive, you have to do 75%. Imagine the power which we are talking about. And hence which this enables any individual to do much more. Right now, 1 day per month is getting wasted in of this particular salesperson in talking to the manager. Sir, मेरा कितना हो गया, कितना performance हो रहा है मेरा इस KPI में, how much money I will make, writing to HR, writing to payroll team, writing to finance teams, writing to sales operations teams. 1 day per month is getting wasted, which is 12 working days a year, which is a half working month, around 4.5% productivity, which could be used in revenue generating activities, right? So and I'm not talking about the motivation right now, or which can actually enable a person to do much more. So this is what we do. We automate the entire process, give access to each and every individual. So, and it's a real-time access, not a 30-day lagged access. That is what we do, and use the power of data to enable each and every stakeholder in the sales organization. And when we look at how we actually do this particular thing, so what we do is we sit over all the systems which have a performance or sales data or incentive related data. So we integrate with CRMs like Salesforce, Zoho, Freshworks. In NBFCs, they call it loan management system. So be it any sort of systems, we have an integration layer, both API, SFTP layer, which can do it. We integrate ERPs like SAP and Oracle as well, because they may have some data which is more financial data, which is again impacts the performance and incentive for any salesperson or even managers and leaders as well. We integrate with distributor management or dealership management system, because one use case is manage incentive for the dealership. So we are talking to one cement company where they want to explore a system to manage 10,000 incentives for 10,000 dealerships across India. So imagine the use case. Not every company may have 100% of the data in any system, depending on the technological maturity of that particular company. So we actually integrate with Excel sheets as well, so that some data which is let's say which is not in a system can easily be used in our system, and the entire sales data management happens in our system. Right now, the teams, 4 or 5 members, take 15 to 20 days just to download 20, 25, 30 Excel sheets and run the entire transformation of data, so that the final KPI, target versus achievement data, can come. That is happening in our system. Then 10 to 15 days are required after 15-20 days to run incentive policies on that particular data. It happens in our system. So KPI management, incentive management, those accesses, multiple modules are given to the central team, sales operation team, or whosoever is running the entire performance and incentive policies. We also give access to each and every manager at the business level, so that they have access of the team data. Also give access to each and every salesperson, anybody who is facing the customer, so that they have access of their own data. They can predict their incentives as well, right? So let me just talk about multiple modules which are there. Let me just see if I can showcase. Yeah, so just let me know if you are able to see the screen.
Yes, we can.
Okay, so imagine a salesperson will have access to my dashboards, which is even this individual can set incentive targets. Right now, there is nothing. It's a black box. Now, this particular individual can actually write how much money he or she wants to earn. If this individual wants to buy a mobile phone worth 20,000 rupees, that much amount of wish, that incentive, personal target he or she can write, and see every day where this individual is coming closer to the 20,000 rupees money, amount. Normally, imagine this person would be doing 10,000, but now he or she would put in more efforts to come closer to this particular number, because this target is in front of this individual. And again, multiple, so whether this individual YTD, multiple such data insights on a real-time basis predict your incentive. So so for example, what I can do, let's say 95% achievement, 110% achievement, and how much money exactly I'll make, which is against as well as my personal target as well. So all those things can be done in the system. My achievement by target, my achievement with respect to the team. So on a median basis, what my team is doing and where I'm, what I am doing. So imagine the kind of push this will give to this particular individual. And similarly, we can give access to managers with respect to the team dashboard, which is let's say as L1 manager or a reporting manager. If I have, let's say, 10 team members, can I have some data of these team members that can also come in the system? So multiple data insights we can enable, right, for this particular individual. So for example, what my team is doing, for example, Olivier, with this incentive period, 56% higher incentive than the previous incentive period. So imagine the kind of real-time access of the team data where I can get. So which individual in which KPI, how they are performing, each person, all those things we can easily get from the data. Again, so notifications, right now it's a black box. With ATMAX, the progress update can come that, hey, this is what you are doing in this particular month. The announcements, a campaign, for example, 7 days, the end of the financial year, end of the quarter, there's a campaign which you can run, which right now happens on Excel sheets. Those notifications can go that, hey, this next 7 days, if you do this much money you will make. Policy center, right now everything is happening on WhatsApp, emails. Your salespeople who are actually working on ground do not have access to policies. Even you will be surprised to know that in their mobile, in their system, we give access to them as well. So this is, and so multiple such things. So this is just front end. Of course, the admin side, which is the sales operation side, the entire KPI management, territory management, group management, which is right now happening manually. So in BFSI, many people, in fact, hundreds of people go out of the system. Hundreds of people join the company. You cannot pay incentives to a wrong person, and you cannot avoid paying incentive to the right person. Right now happens manually. Team takes 7 to 10 days to assign things manually. With our system, it takes few seconds, right? So multiple such modules we enable for the entire organization to not have any audit issues, compliance issues, data leakage, right incentive going to the right person, so that the by the way, 11% of the salespeople, as per studies, receive wrong incentives or delayed incentives, and this is one of the biggest reason for their attrition. So that is also what we solve. Net, if we have to look at how we are helping each stakeholder in the sales organization, the entire sales function. So sales individual on the left, right now problem is 0% transparency. They do not have access to any data. Everything is post facto. Now they cannot do anything to actually earn more incentive. We solve them by giving them access of their own data insights. They can predict whatever they want to do, see how much they are earning on a real time basis. This is how we solve problem for them. Managers, right now there is no incremental performance view of the team. No way to identify where someone is lacking, how somebody is doing from last 6 months, last 12 months. The graph is going down, going up. Should I appreciate that person? Should I put that person on a performance improvement plan? No view right now. We give them this view on a click of a button. Leaders, they do not have the data comes to them after a quarter or so. With our system, they get real-time access to data. They will know which performance scheme or incentive scheme is working or not, which scheme is actually bringing in most results for the organization, and so on and so forth. Sales admin team, which is a sales operation of the central team, 4-5 people, 30 to 45 days, with ATMAX, it will be 0.25 FTE, 30 to 45 minutes. So 98% time and effort saved. No audit issue, no compliance issue, no data leakage. If you are paying to the individual after 30-45 days, with our system, you can pay on the second day or the same day also. So imagine the kind of power we are giving to the central team as well. So this is in totality how we solve problem for each and every individual with our systems. And hence, with the power of data, on demand data, each of these individuals now able to up their game, which is improve their or optimize their performance or productivity, for that matter. Now this is with respect to the problem and the solution. Now we will quickly move to the traction bit. We already have 6 paying customers. We started selling last year. We spent 2.5 years to build the platform. Why? Because this is a data consuming engine. This is not a data generating engine that, hey, if we enable 100 fields, then customer will put in data. No, we consume data from CRM, ERP, multiple such systems, and it becomes one of the most as well. So you will see there are thousands of CRM across the globe, but in SPM, which is sales performance management stack, you will find only 20-25 companies in this particular. And of course, this is a niche market per se. So you will see more companies, of course, coming in every year. So this is where we are. Right now, from this 6 paying customers, we are at around 55-60 lakhs ARR, and around total contract value of 4 crores. Why total contract value becomes important? Because we sign multi-year contracts. So for example, VIP Industries is a 10-year contract. Ispanna Esfurti is a 10-year contract, right? So, and in any good enterprise tech company, you have retention of. So, for example, in my last company in People Strong, there was 96% retention, which was there. So, very easy. More than 90% retention is what you get, and hence total contract value becomes very important. For example, we are doing 7 to 8 POCs as well. Recently, we just closed POC with Poonawalla Housing Finance, 3,000 users. Ispanna, of course, has 10,000 users. So Ispanna Esfurti is 30-year-old company, which is one of the pioneers of microfinance in India, Hyderabad based. And you can imagine 10,000 sales and collection agents who are talking to the customer, selling loans, collecting EMIs, the kind of data which is there. And with ATMAX, the kind of power they will get in their hand. So that is how we solve the problems for each and every stakeholder. And this is quickly about the traction bit. On an average, our ACV for a customer, initial customers, of course, we had to give at higher discounts. Now we are, for example, Poonawalla will give me 20-25 lakhs per month, per annum, sorry. with 5 to 7 year contract, right? So ACV will be 15 lakhs, which is annual contract value for with the average contract value for each customer around 15 lakhs. In India, of course, we are looking at international expansion as well. So this is quickly about the traction bit. A lot of conversations are happening. So VIP is a client. We are talking to Safari as well. So a lot of such conversations, more than 60 plus conversations we are happening. We are doing in the market. Many of them are at POC stage as well. At many places we have submitted the commercial. So very strong traction right now, and this is the right time for us to grow as well. And hence we are putting a lot of emphasis on increasing the top of the funnel, which is right now we were doing through LinkedIn, email, and cold calling. We are adding a layer of SEO and channel partnership as well. Channel partnership will be big one for us, and hence we are putting a lot of emphasis on channel partnership. When we look at the competition per se, two type of competition is there in the market. One is US based competition, which is companies like Exactly Corp, which is around $400 million ARR, bought by Vista Partners at $560 million some time back. Caldas Cloud, which SAP bought at $2.4 billion. Strong case studies, some 8-9 companies doing very, very well in US. In APAC, very strong, and that's how we started also. Very strong need in APAC, but not very great solutions available in the market. So US based companies are there, but they are not in APAC or MENA. They are majorly in US and Europe. There are few India based companies also, but they are more focused on one services. So for example, Herald Logic, which is more focused on insurance, but they majorly do DSA onboarding, which is direct selling agent onboarding, right? The services angle, and we'll say, okay, I'll calculate the incentives also, you give me data. So those kind of companies are there, and they are very sector focused as well as more services and backend focused. Whereas we are more so product we have made sector agnostic, but sales GTM is of course sector focused. From with respect to the differences or the USPs which we have, so we never tell a customer to give us data in a particular format, which most of our competition does. That, hey, give me data in this format, now my system will do, right? So and if customer, let's say, puts in 7-10 days to do that, why as well as why not put 10 more days to do it themselves? We say to the customer that you do not have to touch the data. We just integrate with the sources, take the data, or Excel sheets, we'll take the data, do all the transformation, merging, massaging of data in our systems. Only the system does it basis the logics we configure, and the final payout and the data insight will come from our system. So we do end to end. The second thing is because our product GTM is horizontal, we are able to, so VIP Industries versus Spanda, we are able to take care of any industry. And hence, if we have to grow immediately, if we have to go to any geography in any industry, our system can do it. We are multi-currency, multilingual from day one, so we can very easily do that also. So this is quickly about the competition. The market is huge, around $9 to $10 billion market. It is around 25-30% of the CRM market, which is around $38 to $40 billion globally. So this is quickly about the market also. When we look at how are we going to grow, so what we are doing is the incentives, performance, and data. These modules or other products which we sell differently also, we have already launched. Very soon we'll be working on the forecasting and the planning module also, and hence after putting in AI, ML, performance improvement management, and multiple such things, we'll keep launching multiple modules, features, and new products as well in the future, so that we are able to do upselling also of the new modules, new features, new product. And there is proper monetization which is happening across geographies, across the products also, which becomes very important. Upselling is always high margin business, and that is, of course, we'll keep doing. So this is quickly about the product expansion. So imagine we'll become a single point of solution for anything which is sales performance related. So after CRM, our system which will sit over the CRM, CRPs, HRMSs, DMS, any such data. the organizations or the customers will be able to do anything with respect to the performance of the salespeople, of the distributors, of the employees, or whosoever is using our system. When we look at the top team, so I started, of course, just before COVID. A quick background of myself: I did my BTech honors, worked with Infosys for some time, learned coding, did my MBA from XLI Jamshedpur, worked with a company known as People Strong Technologies, started their Mumbai office. It was kind of a startup then. The petty cash used to come in my salary account, buy ka paisa, chai wale ka paisa. Amazing experience of managing a startup. After 6-7 years in Mumbai, I used to bring in 30% of the revenues for the organization. So Mahindra's, Aditya Birla's, Tata Motors, a lot of customers I used to bring in for the organization. But when we used to sign a multi-year contract, the board said, Varun, the first year you are bringing in, but every year there is a requirement of one, getting the money from the customer every year, because the deal is there, it's a multi-year contract, and upselling new features and new modules to the customer. Hence, I relocated to Gurgaon, started account management customer success function from scratch. I used to manage 85-90 crores kind of order book, did multi-million dollar upselling again. And then organization said, Varun, we want to go to Southeast Asia. Can you help us lead that initiative? So I used to manage a couple of geographies in Southeast Asia, signed first multi-million dollar contract out of India for the organization. And while I was doing that, imagine I was using, as a sales person, or sales leader, I was using CRM, which are Zoho. I have used Zoho, Salesforce. I know HubSpot, Freshworks as well. I was selling HR tech products, which is employee performance, AI, chatbot, employee training, all those things. But as a salesperson, first-hand experience, the kind of I used to make more incentives than my fix, of course. So, but whenever that used to come, after 6 months or a year, I had to sit with the finance controller for 3 hours and understand. And it was a very painful. It used to be a very painful day for me. Imagine for a person who is on an annual or a 6-monthly incentive, it was such a pain. What about people who are on monthly or weekly incentive? And that's how the idea came. I talked to some 35 sales and HR leaders in the market. They said, Varun, it's a huge problem. We have, for employees, we have HRMSs. For customers, we have CRM, but there is nothing for a salesperson. I looked at APAC market. There was nothing. Then I studied deeply the US market. 8-9 companies which were doing really well, solving this big problem. We said, why can't we have a company from India, which is a world-class product? And then APAC market is there, MENA market is there, and maybe if we have to go to US, we'll do that. But huge market opportunity in APAC and MENA also. So that's how I started ATMAX. I was supposed to relocate to Singapore to manage the Southeast Asia market, but then I said, this is a good problem to bet my career on. And hence, I started ATMAX. Santosh, so though I knew coding, I had sold products a lot, but I had done majorly sales, to be candid. I needed somebody who could focus purely on the product. And then Santosh, I knew him from People Strong, have known him from last 12 years. He did 6 to 7 years. He did hardcore coding, then 7-8 years hardcore product management. Very strong experience in how to build a product. So he also joined me. We both started ATMAX, and this is where we are. We then right now we are around 21 full-time employees, around 4 to 5 consultants who are working in ATMAX ecosystem. So this is quickly about the top team, the founding team. From a investment perspective, right now, we recently got funded, which is seed round. We have closed 2.75. SSHA, DD, everything has been closed. The money has been wired. Because we are looking at international expansion with this round only, we would want to raise another 50 lakhs to 1 crore kind of a part of the same round through deed of adherence, same terms and conditions, the same pre-money of 15 crores. Up to 1 crore, from 50 lakhs to 1 crore, so that we can use that money for growth in international market, and hence a requirement of adding more money and put more money in growth. This is quickly about the round. Happy to answer any queries if there are any.
Thanks, Varun, for your detailed perspective and presentation. Any questions from anybody? Suresh, Karthik, Amber, Gurjeet?
Yeah, hi.
Hi.
Sorry, please
Hi,
go on.
Suresh.
Please go
Not
Go
from
ahead.
me at the moment.
on. Okay, very quickly. This is Suresh here. Thank you, and thanks for the detailed presentation. Uh, One question I have is, what's the potential growth you're looking for? Because, or rather, a little more detail
Sure.
from the path from where we are today. I think you're currently at about 60 lakhs annual run rate, and you're looking
Correct.
at 6 crores. That's 10x.
Correct.
So, just a little bit more details on the 10x growth over the next 15 months, please.
Sure, sure. So, Suresh, before this round, we were more bootstrapped. We were getting, let's say, we were doing 5 to 6 new meetings every month. We had only one salesperson, and of course, lesser hands to actually grow. So we were able to do only this amount, which is right now, which is around 60 lakhs ARR. Now we are trying to do 3x with the new fund. Few changes which we have done recently. One, rather than having one person generate leads for us, we are moving into a SDR structure where two people will do generate leads. So rather than having just 5 or 6 meetings, new demos per month, we'll be doing around 10 to 12 demos from this team. Second, we are also engaging with channel partners, which we were never doing before, to generate 5 to 6 leads again every month, right? So that is 3x growth in the top of the funnel. We have added another sales manager so that our bottom of the funnel is also strong. We are able to now close more than just generate leads. So that is the second thing which we are doing. The third thing, we are investing good energies in international expansion also. I was in Singapore a couple of weeks back. For entire week, did 15 meetings. Lot of potential there. In GCC as well, we have got couple of we did couple of interactions with few members in GCC, few people in GCC. Again, huge scope there. So international expansion will also happen. So when we talk about international expansion, of course, that dollar value will come in, and hence that's the fourth thing which we are doing. International expansion will happen through channel partners majorly. They will generate leads, and then we will of course do the conversation, do the demo, technical conversation, commercial, everything till end. Majorly channel partners are good for generating or opening the doors only. That is what we'll do. And the final thing, from a product perspective, we'll keep adding new features with the current team only. We will not put more engineers in the product team. With the current team only, we'll keep adding more features, more enhancements in the product, so that we are able to upsell to the signed customer. For example, we are doing VIP was our first, where we sold the MVP version, by the way, was the first customer. And imagine we can upsell other modules to them also. So as we grow with more features, more modules, we can use that for upselling to the current customer. So these are the 4 or 5 important things we are already doing, which will help us to do that 10x. If we run at the same speed and the same resources, then of course this 10x is impossible. But these are the 4 or 5 important things we are doing.
Thank you.
And Varun, just to get a sense, you've given a sense of projection for the next 15 to 18 months. How about the next 3 to 5 years? I mean, what kind of numbers are we looking at next 3 to 5 years?
So if we look at 3 years, we will be able to do 15 crores ARR, right? 15 to 16 crores ARR. And if we look at 5 years, around 25 to 30 crores ARR. That is what we are looking at.
Okay.
Again, so those 4 or 5 things we have to keep pushing, and that's why, by the way, we are raising this additional money to push put our to put press the accelerator on the international expansion also.
Sure. Yeah.
Hi, Varun. Thank you so much for the presentation. One quick question here is, you mentioned that there is not a lot of competition in this space. Am I correct to understand that?
No, so there is a competition. For example, there is company named as Wisdom, which only sells to B2B software companies, right?
Yeah.
So huge competition in US, and that's why we are not going to US because the probability of signing a customer will be 10 or 15%. Already some 8-9 companies are there. Our competition in, for example, in Southeast Asia or Middle East is less. There will be 2-3 competitors who are all, of course, based out of US. They pitch in Southeast Asia and GCC, but GCC and Southeast Asia, the commercials are very high for them. For example, $40 per user per month. They give only US commercials to Southeast Asia or GCC, which becomes a bit difficult for the customers to sign. And hence, we have much higher probability of closure with a world-class product. We have a much higher probability of closure in GCC and Southeast Asia.
Yeah, that's very helpful. Yeah, as far as I know, this is like about 150 plus companies in this space. But yes, you are correct, primarily in the US area itself. But it makes sense that the pricing difference that you mentioned. So, what is the current difference in pricing? Like, how much is the difference?
Okay, so there are basically two major differences when we look at companies like Exactly or Caldas Cloud, or even Oracle had launched something some time back, Oracle commissions, right? So now the problem is, when I talk to people, one, of course, very expensive. Secondly, they were very inflexible. Inflexible in the sense, understand that commission, incentive, and performance changes very fast within a quarter, within a year also. And if your system is not that configurable from the base, then it takes a bit of customization or configuration, which entails more money to be paid to companies like Caldas Cloud and Oracle. And therefore the organizations or the clients are wary of that fact, and hence they would want to go to, let's say, a company which is more flexible, more configurable. The cost is lower, so that if they even have to do some changes, the cost is not that high, and they do not have to pay through their noses. That is one. From a so price plus configurability and the flexibility UI, that also becomes very critical. Now the difference is, for example, if US is selling at $40 in GCC, we can sell at $15 to $20 as well, very easily, because the entire cost which we have is much lesser, because we are based out of India, right? The entire backend is in India. Sales may happen in international arena, but the entire backend and the ops will be based out of India.
Sounds good. Thank you. Yeah, so am I right to understand that the low code, no code capability that you have sets you apart in
Correct.
front of your other competitors, specifically where you say the configurability and customization?
Correct.
That's a major thing in the GCC area that will be very helpful, because their market is, they want to spend some time making customizations. Usually the customer acquisition cost is heavy there, but I think your platform reduces that by a lot. Thanks for the answers.
Just a quick follow-up. In terms of Varun, is any early numbers you have on profitability or EBITDA or a cash flow at this point of time?
As per our target, we will be EBITDA positive in 13 to 14 to 15 months. If we, of course, keep growing at the rate which we are planning for. As soon as we do, let's say, 2.5 crores, we'll be EBITDA positive, because our burn right now is around, rather the expense right now is around 16 to 17 lakhs per month. And as soon as we do 2.5 in next, let's say, 1 year, or for that matter, 9 to 12 months, we'll be EBITDA positive within that particular. And hence, our focus is a lot on profitability, because as soon as we become EBITDA positive, it is easier for us to grow and take, let's say, have the next round as well, where we are now. So imagine right now we are focused on channel partner model to grow international. We are not having our own office or our own people, because that will become very expensive, correct? So with the next round, of course, which is next end of next year, using that money, will be then having offices maybe in Dubai or Singapore or Bangkok, whichever geography you'll be choosing for offices. So that is what we will do later.
Got it. And therefore, so at 3.7 pre-money, it's a dilution of approximately 25%, is it?
Around 21 to 22%, correct?
Okay. And then the remaining is held by the founders.
Yes, and 15% post dilution ESOP pool.
ESOP pool, of course.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So we have
Just
made
one.
sure. Sorry, please.
No,
Sorry.
please continue. Sorry.
No, I was just saying that we have made sure that the ESOP pool should be 15% post dilution, not pre dilution, because for a startup, the biggest currency is equity for
That's true.
senior people to join. For example, if we need to have somebody in Middle East become business head of Middle East, we may not be able to pay that much salary, and hence we made sure that rather than 10%, we have 15% in equity, so that we can use that to have right people at the right time. Sorry, please go ahead. Yeah.
No, nothing. I think you clarified, and I was going to ask that follow-up. So, but thanks a lot. Just on the product, and this is my last point. Product is, so right now it's still largely about sales incentive compensation management, because obviously it's not very well organized in most of the companies. I've been through many of them. So clearly you're trying to give a single point of managing, and more importantly, a transparent way for the salesperson to know where they stand. That's right. Uh, but in terms of other stuff like sales management or behavioral management or performance management, that's not really driven by just the incentive alone, isn't it? So that's not really the core of the product, because I saw some product feature discussion. But is it fair to say that for most of the time, the focus will be on ensuring right time compensation management, efficient compensation management?
No, interesting point, and very less people actually talk about it, Suresh. See, what happens is when we have to look at the base of performance or incentives, SPM, if we have to talk it will be money, which is incentive part, right? If we talk about performance, because to sales people, if you are not telling them for doing this extra, you get this much amount of money, they will not do that extra. So to drive right behavior to salespeople, that particular incentive, commission, bonus, whatever name we have to give it, that becomes the base. Now, after sales incentive has become the base, the performance. Okay, so let me try to go to this part. So the performance, which is insights about the performance on a daily basis, right? So money is one part, but also the insights about performance on money. For example, if you are doing this right now on 10th of the month, prorated basis, you will be able to do only, right now you are doing 100, on prorated basis, you will be able to do only 90, and your target is 150, right? There's nothing about money, but you're talking about the performance, giving that prorate on 10th of the month and nudging that person that, hey, you have to do more if you have to achieve your target. So that also our system does. And rightly so, as you said. So incentive and performance right now, and analytics part is, of course, is part of the entire thing. One thing which will be adding, which is very critical, rather two things. One is the planning and the forecasting part. And it takes time to build that product. So that your performance, incentive, analytics will become the base, and then forecasting and planning will come. More, and another interesting thing which we would want to do right now, we are doing performance management, nudging a person that, hey, you are at this, you can do this and all. We would want to do performance improvement management, which is when we bring in the AI ML model, which we are starting next year, by the way. AI ML model within the system. So imagine we have so much of data, the entire CRM data, the ERP data, the HRMS data, all the data we have. Can we tell an individual that, hey, out of this 20 discussions or 20 leads, if you close these 3, you get the maximum amount of money and your performance will be the highest? So multiple such use cases can come through AI ML. That is what we actually want to do as we grow. Then imagine our system will be the key system before CRM. Then people will actually log into our system saying that, okay, let me see where I need to put my focus more on. So it is effort versus gain is what we will do there.
Sure. Thank you. That's a detailed explanation. Thanks a lot.
Yeah. Thanks. Any questions from your side, Karthik or Gurjeet?
Sorry, nothing from me. Thank you.
Sure. Thanks, Karthik. Karthik, all okay? Anything from your side?
Hey, hi Manish. All okay in the sense I'd like to see the product working, especially the configuration part. The biggest USP which Varun talks about is configuration, and I'll tell you the biggest challenge is configuration. Every organization, every product, and organizations will have different products with different incentives.
Yes.
And there are 5 different silo systems which are generating the data, which needs to be collated, and then different logics which come out from different people in different ways has to be configured. Now, if that puzzle is solved, and it's easy to do because somebody has to do it, they can't be coming back to the OEM always and telling them to do it. So that's one thing which is very important for me to see, and see in the sense with not sample data, because I don't like to see anything with sample data, because I feel that is always, it's like pasted there. So we like to see a case study, which may be with VIP or anybody else, if in a demo mode possible. And the second thing which I'd like to see is known as the costings which you have right now. I mean, per user, what costing are you charging them when you say you take a 5-year or a 10-year portfolio sort of a thing? What commitment do we have? And what is the kind of costings you give to them? So these are 2 things which do come to my mind to know more about the product which is there. Because you're very right, your sales everywhere will actually happen through sales channel.
Correct.
So and it does not make sense to actually go down everywhere trying to have an office when you can do this easily through a sales channel. And since it's a SaaS product, it will actually then again come back to the fact that it should start becoming available without having to actually meet somebody. It should happen right there on the way. So these are 2 things. I don't know if others are interested. We can set up a meeting when we can actually, when you're ready, being able to show me with the right
in fact, no. So that's a valid thing, Karthik, and you're right. So we just completed the successful POC of Poonawalla Housing Finance, which is 3,000 users. Right. What I can do is maybe ask my team to run that particular demo of how we have said, and we will show you the emails of also where the customer has said the data is matching. So imagine data from our system which is coming out is matching their Excel sheet data, because it is about money, right? So right now team would have that particular data, which is Poonawalla Housing Finance 3,000 user data. Of course, they would have given sample of maybe 10-15 people, but the complexity and everything is there. The schemes are there, the KPIs are there, the final report is coming out. Okay, so that makes sense. So I will ask for the that particular POC demo, so that you know that how we are doing, how we are changing the slabs, can we easily do it, right?
I mean, I want to have an insight into the software.
Okay. And
because that's what is more important.
The second thing which you said about the pricing is, for example, pricing for anybody who is having 1,000 users, we will in India we give around 100 rupees to 200 rupees per user per month. That is the pricing we have. Of course, in Southeast Asia GCC it will be 3x, right? So in India it is 100 to 200 rupees per user per month for a 1,000 let's say member team.
Okay. So
thanks. Thank you. I guess I think with this I think we can wind up this call. So one valuable inputs provided by everybody, right from Suresh, Karthik, and Amber, and Gurjeet, you're most welcome to come up with any suggestions, any clarification which you want. So once you're ready with this demonstration of the use cases, especially the 3,000 user base of Poonawalla, maybe in the next few days, let's try and set up a separate call. Okay.
Sure.
And let's see if maybe we can showcase this actual usage demonstration of this data to all our investors, right?
Sure. Perfect.
So thank you, everybody. Thanks, Varun. Thanks, Gurjeet, Karthik, Suresh, and Amber.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, Manish.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Thank you, Manish. Thank you, Varun.
We'll keep everybody posted on this
Yes.
next call.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks.